What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Impel Ford Podcast. I'm your host, Leon. I'm here with my man, the modified gentleman, Larry.
What up?
My other people's, I guess they'll be on in a little bit. My co-host, Renee. I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something. And my boy, KP, Mr. Pierre. Guess they'll be here in a minute.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Police brutality still happening.
Trickling in.
Still happening. Dr. King files being released. I don't know why or what's the big deal about it. Durham community upset with the mayor. Durham community upset with the mayor, calling them two letters. I don't know. People feel different ways about it.
Hey, two very important letters though.
yeah, two very important letters. And there go my man, Mr. KP. I call him Pierre.
Hey man, what's going on?
What's going on? We just
was
talking
good,
to
was
the people
good.
a little bit
What
before
y'all
we get
telling
started.
me? What
But
y'all
before
telling the people?
wait a minute, before you even say something, make sure
Tell 'em
you go to
everything.
impelfordmerch.com. That's impelfordmerch.com. All things impelfordmerch.com. Everything is still on sale. Hey, look, them sweatsuits are on sale now. Look, the winter is coming. It's hot right now, but the winter is coming. I'm still seeing people wearing hoodies. So hey, go get you something. impelfordmerch.com. impelfordmerch.com. All things impelford merch. Yeah. What's going on? My Aunt Miriam tuned in. Says good evening, everyone.
Good evening, I'm Mary.
Miriam.
Miriam.
Right.
Yeah, Miriam.
What's up, Aunt Mary? What's up, Miriam?
Yeah.
Miriam.
Yeah. What's going on, man? Look. Let's go ahead and get started. Police brutality continues.
Renee
Wow.
said she on the way.
Yeah, co-host Renee is late, but we gonna go ahead and move on.
You gonna move on without your co-host, man?
Yeah, move.
I wouldn't
Hey,
want to
look,
be your co-host.
It's 8 o'clock, man. Hey, she's supposed to be here.
CPT, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
Oh no.
Yes, so let's go ahead and get started, man. People want to hear what we got to talk about, man. So we're gonna talk about this William McNeil Jr. And I'm gonna show this right here.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I know what I'm doing. Boom. Share my screen. Let me know if y'all can see it. Here it go.
Boom. There
Let me
you go.
see y'all can see it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Florida police under fire as video of black man punched, dragged by deputies during traffic stop goes viral. Let me play this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says it has begun both a criminal and administrative review of the officer's actions from a traffic stop incident from mid-February, after a recently released video shows officers punching 22-year-old William McNeil Jr.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands. Here.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right.
No.
Don't.
Get on the ground. Stop fighting.
According to his lawyer, McNeil was told he was pulled over because he didn't have his headlights on. Police body cam video shows McNeil refused to step out of his vehicle and to provide an ID, registration, or proof of insurance when asked.
Like that? I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing,
Instead, he shut the car door, locked it, and instructed the officer to call his supervisor.
It's not raining.
this is
It's not raining.
okay. I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
37, 35. I'm properly driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle.
The officer then told McNeil he was under arrest for resisting and instructed him multiple times.
Now we can go back to it if y'all want to. That there is was kind of disturbing, but
Yeah, very much.
Me, I've been pulled over by the cops before, a few times.
Yeah.
Watching that clip, I would have got out the car. Because you gotta look at it like this right here. They go do what they did, bust your glass, pull you out the car and beat you, or you go get out willingly and they still go beat you. So that's my thought. I don't. What's your take on it?
Hey, I'm glad he stayed in the car because he had his own video camera. He had his own evidence. Because if he would have got out of the car, he could have been taking out a view of his own camera. They could have turned their body cameras off. It could have been a lot. It could have been way more stuff that we did not see from our side of things. And to be honest with you, no matter what he said as far as where it looked like he's not compliant, did not warrant any of the backlash that he got from those officers, like at all. You know, if you tell them, no, I'm not getting out the car, call your supervisor. That does not mean bust my window and violently and viciously attack me, pull me out, and jump me, basically. Because it was like 4 officers on him. It wasn't called for.
But I don't know. I think there is some video that show what happened before. I don't know if we sped. I don't know. I heard people talking about it. Maybe y'all can enlighten me on that.
I don't know about him speeding, but as far as the reason of it being a headlight issue, sounds like what the old folks say, hogwash. That would that sound like? 100%. You know.
Yeah, that I mean, he was originally pulled over for not having his headlights on while driving while it was raining. That's one of those laws that they pull you over for not having any shoes on while you're driving, right?
Right.
Barefoot, but it's one of those things that's not that heavily enforced, but sometimes when the occupant look a certain hue, then it gives them a reason to pull them over and to conduct other things, because the statistics has told them that if I pull him over, there's a chance that he has an expired license, he has an outstanding warrant, he has an expired brake tag, just living black in America. You could be in, it's just one, it's going to be one of those.
They don't need a reason to beat you up, basically.
No, they don't need a reason to beat you up, but they're only doing what they're trained to do, so that's what they're trained to do. They're trained to do those things, and it doesn't make it right. You even seen this black police officer who is, I think, is the captain, the chief or something like that. He's defending it in his words as even though something looked violent, doesn't mean that it breaks the law.
I got that. I'm gonna pull it up in a minute.
Yeah, and so I don't think a traffic stop, a violation of a motor vehicle, unless it's vehicular homicide, an attempt, should warrant any traffic stop to lead to someone being beaten or killed. No traffic stop in America should resort to that, but it's that, unfortunately, that's what we're up against.
Right.
And also with our go ahead.
Go ahead, KB.
No, I said also, welcome, Renee. Welcome to the club.
Welcome, Renee. Also with the Trump administration, the one thing that he ran on was that he was going to provide and do police immunity and remove consent decrees that are placed upon many things, like in St. Louis, like in Memphis, and in the different areas where they're having where they need some transparency on the police practices that they're doing, and Trump have given them immunity. So if you've gotten immunity and then you getting these consent decrees taken away, that you don't have to no longer report to the federal government on the acts that you do, then you feel emboldened. And we're going to have our people on the other side say, hey, the police are good folks, police are this, and police, and you know what, there may be. I have some in my family. But I will say this, and I said this again, good police don't need immunity.
That's true.
Right. You're right.
You know, so and why if there's I also had an associate. I stopped saying the word friend. A guy that I work with, and we used to banter back and forth on social media, and you know, and I think the incident that happened in Baton Rouge came up with the Alton Sterling thing, and one thing he would always do. He's an anecdotal person that uses anecdotes to make argument, which is it's the dumbest argument. But his position as well. There's only 1% of police that are bad. That was his stance. And I said, well, okay, I'll take you with that. I'll accept that. If it's 1%, will you tell me why every black person keep running to that same 1%? If it's just really 1%, well, why? Right. Why do black Americans run into that same bad 1% and nobody else run into them? So again, it falls flat on its face.
Yeah.
And then we also knew in 2013, the DOJ they said that white supremacists have entered the military and the police force in numbers that they hadn't seen. That was a report that came out in 2013. And so we didn't really need that report to know that's where they're going. If I did not like you, Leon, and I wanted a reason to deal with you and with immunity, I'm going to join the police force or I'm going to join the military.
Right. Now, I'm going to ask you questions and we'll go to Renee. Well, we'll let Renee start this off. Do you think they would have beat him like that if he would have got out of the car?
Yes.
We have seen it happen, but that's just
yes. I think the anger was the same, right? Whether he was sitting in the car, whether he would have been out the car, the outcome would have been the same.
Right.
I justify this as he wasn't really, I mean, in my eyes from the clip that I saw, there was no justification for the window to be broken or any of those things because he had already advised them that his window doesn't roll down. So for the aggressiveness to start, once they, they're at that window, they were already upset. Already. You don't just punch someone just to punch them, right? They could have opened the door, unlocked the door. They could have did anything.
Yeah.
I can't, and I could be wrong, right? But, and feel free, anybody let me know. I just don't feel like the outcome would have been different.
Let me
Leon said that. Leon said whether you comply and get out the car, you're gonna get a 2-piece, or if you sit in the car, you're gonna get a 3-piece. Either way, you're gonna get pieced up. I do believe that. I do also believe that you do lessen your chances of getting a 2-piece if you just sometimes swallow your manhood and just say, all right, do whatever it is you guys want to do, but then you feel less than a man. And then with these road cops and these ICE agents and all these pretend people, you don't know if this is a legitimate stop or this is a stop to make you 12 years a slave again, because that's how they got Solomon, which is a true story with the 12 years a slave, So you don't know if that's what they're doing. And you don't know if you're just about to be one of those people they're about to disappear.
Listen, I'll be real clear, man, about this. Like, I'm not anti-police. Like, I'm anti-bullshit.
Right.
And you got to be real at it at a point where I'm tired of the conversation of it's like, oh, it's just a few bad apples. But it can't be that many bad apples and that many good apples in the same place at the same time. That man got jumped on by like four different people. One of them was being black. And I know for a fact they're going to say, oh, because a black man was there, this is not a hate crime or something like that.
So I have a question.
The racism is not because it's white or black. The racism is the systemic injustice of the system.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's where the police chief falls into it.
Right. It's the system. So now when you got a black chief and a predominantly black police force, Memphis, you're still going to get the actions of this black body or this black lives. You can go a little bit further with this one because it does not matter.
Right.
Because the system is here to protect you.
It is, and I mean, you're the closer you are to white supremacy, it keeps you there. So they were all buddy there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They could call that black man, all types of N words or whatever. He's going to bypass it because he feels like he is a part of them,
That brotherhood,
in that clique, in that brotherhood, the blue shield and the blue wall or whatever. When essentially that is not the case. But my question I have is, has there been a video released from the body cameras from the police angle? Because all I've seen was from the young man in the car, and he's like,
yeah. So before you hopped on, go ahead, Leon.
Go ahead, Larry.
No, I was just gonna say, before you hopped on, Leon has showed a clip that included the body cam angles from the cops, and before the end of the violence took place, it was showing the cops from the body cams angle talking to William about getting out of the vehicle, and showing that William was not getting out the vehicle, and he was asking for the officer to bring his sergeant, and so William closed the vehicle. So that's the first time I seen the body cam angle.
So let me go back to it.
He requested for a supervisor for his safety.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, understandable. So they were upset that he somewhat knew his rights to be able to request a supervisor.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
But how dare
so the possibility was already there coming into the window, right? So they were already mad that he didn't follow their directions.
Right.
In addition to having somewhat knowledge of asking for a supervisor.
Right.
So he felt some sort of aggression already, right?
They all did. Yeah, it was like I said, it was 3 or 4 now.
There was some fear.
They had to come to work that day.
There was some fear for him to ask for a supervisor, right? Why would he ask?
Let me go to the. Let me play this.
To exit the vehicle before breaking the window and punching McNeil in the face.
Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window.
Multiple officers then unbuckle McNeil's seatbelt and pull him from the vehicle, forcing him to the ground and striking him in the face.
Show me your hands. Here.
MVPG 1033 at 15:21 hours.
What is your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason? Step out now. No, don't freak out. Get on the ground.
Put your hands behind your back. I'm resisting. Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back.
The arresting officer has been stripped of his law enforcement authority pending the outcome of the investigation.
These administrative reviews are ongoing, but the state attorney's office has determined that none of the involved officers violated criminal law. Even though the administrative review has yet to be completed, we are releasing the body-worn camera footage today because Officer Bowers has consented to its release.
McNeil pleaded guilty to resisting a police officer without violence and driving on a suspended driver's license, the sheriff said. It's not clear if the other deputies involved in the incident are.
Now, it definitely wasn't no reason for him to punch him like that.
Those were charges that are after the fact, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're saying they put him over because of the headlock issue. Okay, get your sergeant out here because this sounds suspect. And then they went ahead and forced him out of that vehicle. Why didn't they just get their sergeant? It turned into a resistant arrest situation, which it wasn't. They just went ahead and jumped. Listen, I remember the Rodney King case. That was in what, 1990, 1991, something like that. I remember watching that on TV and the riots that came after that. And we're still going through that in 2025. Nothing's changed. There's no police reform. It's gotten worse, to be, if anything. But in relation to this case, it was along those same lines of the boys in blue coming to get you, no matter what you do, you know?
So let me ask this. There were multiple vehicles, right?
Yeah. Multiple police cars?
Multiple police vehicles, right?
They blocked them in.
They blocked them in both ways?
Yeah. One was in front of him, one
was behind him. There was a police officer in the front that blocked him so he couldn't drive off in the front, right?
Right.
Somebody blocked him in the back so he couldn't drive off in the back, right?
Yep.
He couldn't go anywhere.
Yep.
So he sat there and just requested for a supervisor. They had already blocked him in. He couldn't go anywhere. So why couldn't they wait? I mean, the offense to pull him over was minor. That's a misdemeanor.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Right.
It didn't warrant any of it at all. So my question is, why couldn't they just wait and call a supervisor if they've already blocked him in?
Yeah.
Well, they just
because of the obvious, Renee. He doesn't have the complexion for the protection, and therefore we're not about to call the supervisor and get him out of his bed to come here and deal with this person.
Right.
We can deal with it ourselves, and that's why, because he does not have the inalienable rights that are afforded to all of us. Right? They say we do, but it's taken from us at a moment's notice when some of them become judge and jury of the situation
and executioner.
Right. Because I mean, a broken taillight doesn't even warrant you to search my vehicle.
Yeah. Look, man,
I think what a lot of us in the Black community, we try to hold court right there in the traffic stop. You know, I can't say that, all right, as a community, let's just comply and give them what they need. Percentages are that you will be able to walk away percentage wise if you just comply with everything that they ask. There's still a chance that you still can be accosted. But, you know, I look at Philando Castile. I look at a lot of these people that were in compliance and still lost their lives.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you know, it's not that easy for us.
Nah, bro.
It's just not. It's a double-edged sword.
That shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's scary to me, man, because I got teenage sons. You know, my oldest son is 16. We go driving every day now so he can get his license. You know, he's got his permit, working on him getting his license. And as a Black parent, this is stuff I got to consider. You know, if my son gets pulled over because he's driving on his own, how is this going to turn out? You know,
Larry, I deal with that. My son's is going into his junior year in college, and he's in Northwest. He's in Northwest Louisiana, up in Louisiana Tech. But he comes through Mississippi to come into the bottom part of Louisiana, because there's two ways to come home, and he goes through there to Vicksburg. He goes through these Mississippi towns, and I cringe because it's a 5-hour drive that my son is on this road with this, and I don't like it because anything could happen, and they'll see him as what they see on the nightly news, and not as this good college kid that's just trying to do right. He just needed help on the side of the road, right? So you have that one avenue to come down, and then there's the other avenue to come down, which is 50. I forget the name, whatever it is. But you got to go through a lot of those. They're not sundown towns. They're like Livonia. There are a lot. Matter of fact, I just paid 2 tickets that I got in those same areas, driving from New Orleans to Tulsa back and forth. I was getting tickets in the same little spots where there's always police traps, and there's always and anything can go down in those towns.
Right.
So either way, it's 12 in the hand and 6 in the other. It's that's the things that we have to deal with navigating being Black in America. Just something as simple as this, as parents, we have to be mindful of what our kids are about to or could experience, and or ourselves, that others don't even think twice about.
Before you had joined us, KP, I had shared that I was pulled over by police one time, and in the same little town, a couple of times, and he asked me, I said the same thing. What'd you pull me for? I said it a couple of times. What'd you pull me for? And he kept repeating certain things, but I knew he was lying. But he never asked me to get out the car, and actually he did let me go. But it could have been me, you know. But if it was said get out the car, I would have got out. But still don't know what would have happened. But you know, I've been put in that situation before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had always. I done had all the experiences that you can have other than being executed. But with my encounters with law enforcement, and a lot of it started young. It started young, and for whatever reason, it's impossible for you to have. It's a miracle that I still have some respect for the authority of police, but I don't. I have none. But when you're harassing 14-year-old kids, or you're harassing 20-year-old kids, it's impossible for them to, when they're 30 and 40, to be pro law enforcement, because every encounter you have is a negative one. Every encounter you have, we're 14 walking in the movies, and this big buzz cut white cop on kids pulls a gun, puts it in your face.
Yeah.
You're 14, you're leaving the movies, right? So how do you process that?
Mm-hmm.
That happened. Yeah. So how do you process that? You got this big white, like, I'm not a threat, I'm a kid, but
yeah.
The fact that you can pull a gun and point it in these kids' face and feel like that was the right thing to do. Like I said, y'all know how I get. I'll start going into a wormhole and I'll start saying something. We're gonna lose sponsors. But they're evil and they're sinister. And there's no good in a market.
the smoke is about to come from your head.
We saw that, KP.
But let me now.
I'll put it this way, man. Real quick, like.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say real quick, like, man, when it comes to respecting the uniform, that's something I can't do just off the cuff, because I respect people.
I agree.
I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I look at a person, I don't care what uniform you got on, but I process our interaction, put it that way.
Yeah.
And I know there are so many parents out there that immediately tell their kids to, always respect authority, respect the uniform, this, that, and the third. And that's dangerous, because sometimes that authority and that uniform doesn't respect you as a person. That's different for Black people. We can't just respect authority just because. That's what got us in trouble in the first place. But that's another story.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Leon.
So let me play this, what this man said.
I saw a lot of violence. I think the public saw a lot of violence.
Well, first of all, Eric, don't try to talk the public into what they saw. They just saw the same videos you saw. So what I'm saying is that it is what it is. This is the information that I want to share with the public in context without a short clip. It's very important to do that because it provides a lot of information to the public.
And you brought up
it's important. Let me finish. It's important for the people to know that you're not allowed to resist a police officer when he's doing his lawful duties. It's been dealt with in several different times. You don't resist when you're doing your lawful duties. You don't deserve to get violated, but you deserve to get what's necessary to get you under control and get you and take you into custody.
The allegation that McNeil had reached.
Hold on, let me play this beginning.
That was in the police report.
Where'd you see? What police report did you see that in?
In the arrest report for McNeil, that was stated that the officer saw him, reach for the knife that was on the floorboard. The video that was posted to social media, and even in there, do you see that when you're watching?
No, actually, I don't see where his hands are.
But what I don't understand is.
What you got to say, Renee?
Criminal.
I said he's a clown.
Oh, I thought you said the other.
They all are. That's what I'm saying. It takes a special.
And I don't understand the difference between the young man's clip. What did he say as far as the little clip that you saw?
He said that he got a sucker punch.
Right.
Yeah, Chief said he didn't get sucker punched.
But then he said, you don't have a right to be violated, but you do have a right to follow the law. So which one is it? Right. So will the cop, will he suffer some consequences for violating the young man? Because he did admit that he was violated, right? Yeah. But then, in the same sentence, he's like, well, the young man did something, he resisted arrest. So which one is it? Because it sounds like the young man pleaded guilty to, his 2 offenses. So what's going to happen to the officers with an S? Because, 2 of them, one broke the glass, the other one, and then tried to hit him. The other one came from the other.
The whole crew got to go down.
It just seems very,
So right now, just one that
Suspicious.
we know of that they let go. Well, suspended, right? That he said.
Yeah.
They'll probably reinstate him.
He talking about he ain't seen no sucker punch. What is he watching? WWE?
No, it's
What is he
listen,
talking about?
it's don't believe your lying eyes. And
yeah, don't believe your
it
line.
goes back to that
I thought it was plausible deniability.
well, you can't assert plausible deniability when there's video.
Well, yeah, but again, he doesn't see the video.
You know what I mean?
He's alleging the video is right.
Yeah, right,
So,
right. He can't claim that because we all see the video that he's watching. So you can't deny what you're seeing.
Mhm.
But if he's like, I wasn't there, I was at a family's barbecue, that he can use plausible deniability
that's
with
what
that.
it sounds like he's doing, because I don't know what video he watched or didn't watch. Because
he's watching the same video you're watching, but again, it's don't believe your lying eyes. And it goes back, one of the most funniest, it was a funny but poignant movie that came out on Netflix, and I don't know why it didn't blow up, but it was called Don't Look Up. It had Jonah Hill in it.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah,
that movie was the same.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry was in. He was a newscaster, and that movie
it was a good
was exactly telling of what we were going to be experiencing with the Trump administration because of the last Trump administration. We literally got a meteor that's coming to crash the Earth. And you have one side, you can see it coming. Oh, it's coming, right? And then they're telling them, no, it's not, right? And they just say, so the one side, Republicans, just don't look up. And the other one was like, no, look up. It's right there, right? It's coming. And then you had the millionaire guy who designed XYZ to actually, get a lot of people off Earth and put them onto another planet. I mean, it was... Yeah, it has everything. It's a good watch, and you're gonna laugh.
Hey, real quick though, like one thing, man, I wanna say, like, for the community, we got to be careful. We got to look out for each other. Check on your people, but these type of incidents is not the way for us to get reparations, because I know a settlement is coming out of this, and we're starting to see this more and more and more because the cops aren't paying for this out of their own pockets.
It's like coming out of the pension. It's the city,
right? They get suspended and they go to another precinct. That's why I say rinse and wash and repeat. You know what I'm saying? Rinse, wash, and repeat. It keeps happening over and over. But this is not,
Larry.
That's
just not the way. You're right. All he's going to do is end up at another precinct. The cop who killed Tamir Rice was literally let go from another precinct, and the commanding officer said he is going to kill somebody because his mental, and it happened. He got to another agency, and then none of us. You understand that people was like, well, Biden didn't do anything for black folks, and every now and then I pull out little things like this, but he did do. Like with these consent decrees, but they actually did a database of cops. I remember that. They had the database so that the cops couldn't keep going from precinct to precinct carrying bad behavior. And one of what they did in his DOJ would along with granting immunity and also the getting rid of the consent decrees was to eliminate that database of rogue cops, bad cops. It eliminated it. Yeah. And so who do they think they about to turn these people on? Do you think they about to turn them on these river dancing Irish people? No. Or do you think they're about to, you get what I'm saying? You think they're about to turn them on these Netherlands or these Eurasian? Who you think they're going to turn these people on? Yeah.
Hey, stop before the smoke start coming from your head, man.
You know what I found out, and I did not know, and I can't give the full story, but because a police officer was arrested for, crimes against immigrants. Police officer, right? Okay. He met the right one on the wrong day. That one person had a video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you talking like this is somebody you know or
right
personally, so.
It's no one I know personal. It's
okay.
That's what it sounds like.
No. I was not involved with that, but in another case that he said person was dealing with. And what I did not know and he got, he was incarcerated. He got charged. He was incarcerated. He was a police officer, right?
Mhm.
He, he was in there for maybe 5 years, I think. He was still receiving his benefits every day and received an increase
While he was locked up?
every month.
Yo, they just had him on PTO.
He was sending it to the Senate. His wife was receiving it, and she was spending it.
Wow.
But he was still receiving it every month.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And you know what?
That surprised me.
I see people like this a lot, man, because being prior military, that's where a lot of people transition to. A lot of soldiers or military service members transition into law enforcement because some of those skills or a direct transference. And I hate to play devil's advocate, but I understand like being a police officer, it is tough work. And in some aspects, it's worse than being in the military because you think about it. Every time you're on duty, it's 12 o'clock at night. You pull a car over with tinted windows and you got to walk up to that car. You don't know what you're getting. So I get it from a side of that, but that's why I say you have to respect people and not just the uniform itself. Because if you're walking up to that car already with intentions of blowing somebody's head off, you're in the wrong spot at the wrong time. You in the wrong line of work. Because I'm also tired of seeing police officers talking about they're fearing for their lives all the time. Your position is a high risk position.
But they're human though. Can't they? Can't
there you go. That is another aspect. They're human. They're human. So
I'm saying, but can't they fear for their life though?
They can, but they have the training for that civilians don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For that being in a high risk environment. It's no different than first responders, EMTs, paramedics, firefighters. They have to train for high risk, high pressure environments all the time. And so when a police officer roll up to something and immediately is in a fearful state, that's bad business for everybody. Because that's what happened to Tamir Rice.
And you have the option to leave. You're not held accountable. You're not under a 5-year contract, a 3-year contract. You applied for this job. You took an oath for this job and for, the state or country, whatever you're in. You took that oath to protect.
Hold on. Let me say you something on that part. As far as people taking the oath and trying to do it the right way, there are those people that do that. They want to make changes for their community.
Yes.
But for some people, man, it's a check. It's just a check.
Yeah, I get that. But what I'm saying is you fearing for your life, right? You're saying I fear for my life as a police officer who's been trained, who done all that. You applied for the position. It wasn't like you applied to be a desk clerk. You applied to be a police officer. Right.
But that's the importance too of why there needs to be better evaluations. There's a mental evaluation that says, hey, can this person do this?
I believe they have to take all of that.
I've heard like you said, they got to evaluate them. I heard somebody say, I forgot who it was that said, but they was talking about a job. Police is a job. They said the person they hired wasn't the person that they interviewed. So a lot of times you can hire people, they go through evaluations. You still don't ever know what a person is going to do.
Oh yeah. Until they get in that situation. Yeah.
Right.
That is very true. And that's why you have the option during all of the, the mental, the health evaluations, the trainings and all it. You have an out. You are not dedicated to be there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even after your first situation and you were scared or something happened, these people have an out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not being held to anything. Just like when people apply for prisons and they want to be, correctional officers, it's like, okay, some people it may be just a job, but there's other jobs for you to apply for. It's not like this was the only job in the town, right? You live in North Carolina. Do something different. It just wasn't for you. You're never going to grow out of being scared.
Go ahead, Larry.
I look at it this way. Like anybody can apply and get hired, right? And that's cool. It's okay. I mean, as long as they fit the criteria, they fit the parameters, they pass all the tests, all that stuff. Cool. Mm-hmm. But when you have incidents like this, the follow up after that incident needs to be evaluated, needs to be stricter, it needs to be tougher so it doesn't happen again. And that's where everything is failing, because these incidents continue to happen because officers get suspended, still get paid, and they disappear, go off to someplace else. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, that blue wall is so strong, it is so thick. And I get it that they protect themselves, because police chief got what somebody's breathing down his neck, and somebody's breathing down that person's neck, and crap rolls downhill. I get it. The optics look bad. It looks bad on the city, looks bad on the department. I got it. However, when your citizens don't feel safe in that environment, and you're not even trying to protect them, you're trying to protect the enforcers. That's where we have a problem at. And it's huge.
No, I agree.
So I was I'm go a little out of order since we're talking about this. I was gonna go to the Dr. King files, but since we're talking about this right here, and KP brought up something earlier. I guess you was referring to when you was younger, or was you referring to a certain situation when you said the cop put the gun in your face and you was a kid?
No, that was when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got, what do y'all think about? Sometimes Black young kids may put themselves in certain situations by things they do or are doing to get put in that situation with cops.
Are you referring with what who our mayor referenced?
That too, yeah. That's where we're going right here.
I mean, that exists, yeah.
But you can have some people who say they kind of defend. Like I know for a fact, because where I come from, right? I know things I did, and I put myself in certain positions, and things could have happened. Being young, doing wild, crazy stuff, and then a police pull up, something happened, and then we want to blame police a lot.
Yeah.
I think we blame the police on how they enforce whatever they're being called for. So it's not, I think it's the way they enforce things. Like some things are they just do the most. But I think what you're asking, do our youth put themselves in the position to be harassed by the police? The answer is yes and no. The fact that the ones that are out there that are out there doing it makes it bad for the ones that are not.
Yeah.
The police don't know the difference, right? It's just that's just what it is. Like a cop could see my son and think that he's the same kid that he just chased a few hours earlier, because there's no differentiation of that in their mental, in the way they see us. I will say that Leon, some of our kids do put themselves in those positions, but that's a deeper problem with the structure or lack of structure of the home. But then there's the ones that are not. There are several. All the times that I've encountered a cop when I was between the age of when I was able to kind of be out on the scene from 12 to 18, none of that was none of that. It was just kids being young, or I would say youthful exuberance, not doing anything that was detrimental. But the encounters that I can think of was something that I didn't really think of. That I thought that was bad. And I'll give you for instance, one time I got arrested. I had just the county fair had just every year the county fair comes into our parish, and I remember at the certain time, like on a Friday, it's free, but then the Saturday and Sunday you have to pay to get in. So I think this was maybe a Saturday. I had just paid my money to get into the fair, and I see my best friend at the time a little ways up, and I see kind of commotion going, but it's the fair, right? And then all of a sudden, this big cop just comes up in my face. I was probably, 15, and cops just swarm me and get in my face and tell me to get out. And I'm looking at my best friend. I'm like, they're not talking to me. So I just keep walking. Because I just paid my money to walk into the entrance. And they're surrounding me. At this point, I'm 15 years old. I look and I'm surrounded by cops that obviously don't look like me, right? And so I'm 15. I don't know how to deal with this. And they were like, get out. And I'm like stunned. So I'm in one spot. And before you know it, they had took me down and beat me and roughed me up and arrested me. And obviously, I got charged with resisting arrest. And then I had at the fair, you could win these little pocket knives. The day before, I had won a little pocket knife. I had the little pocket knife on me. One that was, the life that, the old guys would have. And they charged me with that. But then eventually they dropped the charges. But nevertheless, I was in a position.
Traumatizing experience.
It's traumatizing. But what happened, I didn't know, where I could use plausible deniability, as Renee say, is prior to me walking in there, they had just had this massive fight. Remember? So that's why I say yes, and I agree with you, Leon, and some I don't. So there was this massive fight that I had no idea about, right? Remember, there's no social media. This is probably mid-90s or late 80s.
Back in the 1900s.
Damn, bro.
So apparently there was this big fight. I didn't know anything about it. I walk into it. I get singled out. And then I don't know what's going on. I don't respond because I'm a kid. I don't know. And so the ones, like I was saying earlier, some of these kids do things and cause the other ones that are doing good to actually reap the whatever is supposed, the negative things that's supposed to happen. We see it all the time with these kids. They're in college. They go home. They with the people they went to school with who's not doing good, and they end up being the ones get killed.
Yeah.
We see this all the time. They the ones cause it, but the kid that's doing good, he gets killed. So you ask yourself.
Yeah. Man, I read a story like that a couple of days ago about this college kid.
Huh?
I read a story about that a couple of days ago about this college football player who came home, just for the summer.
So the ones that actually cause it don't actually get the repercussions. It's the other ones, the good kids. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me play this clip of the mayor. We'll give you a backstory a little bit. KP, you had I think you said you was at somewhere he was at, and he spoke a little bit, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, he came to a cigar venue that I was at, a couple of days right after he did this rookies thing.
Hold on.
I'm not going to apologize for engaging with my community. I'm not going to apologize for being able to understand what people are feeling, especially when they feel disenfranchised. What I will apologize for is how this has materialized in the people that is harmed. And I apologize that, we are having this conversation on Facebook. And I've been watching the comments and I've been watching who's saying what. My wife and I had to take some downtime because we have our own issues with, our business and just trying to be good parents,
Commercial. Got me. Skip the ad.
And just trying to be good examples. But the fact that I'm watching people who know me personally, who have every bit of an issue with the context in which they have seen this and haven't picked up the phone, it's all on Facebook. And, the more you stir a pot, the more it stinks. And I just wanted to fully address this. I'm responding for the people who were in that room that night, who felt that they were heard, who felt that they had a mayor that could relate to them. And I don't apologize for that. For the folks that I know and respect and have a great deal of respect for, who are hurt by how this has materialized into something else, I apologize that you are having to endure this. I also apologize around the fact that, even though the intent was something different, that there may be a young person that actually is taking what they're saying and thinking that they're undervalued. They're undervalued. And that is not something I want. So it's important that I listen.
Goal number 1, start my mornings with.
We can stop it. We can stop it right there. Now I didn't see a big problem with what he said. As far as what he said was, he used the term YN. YNs, people, you know, if you know the term,
What
you know
in
the
what
term.
context?
I heard that this is what I heard.
Yeah.
Somebody asked him a question.
Somebody asked him a question. What are we going to do about these YNs?
Yeah, somebody
Well,
used
somebody said
somebody asked-
YNs, and he.
I'm
kinda
trying to explain it to you. Let me explain it
Okay.
to you. Somebody asked them a question, and they used YNs, and in his response, he used YNs, and the whole community, well, a lot of people, was in uproar, and they didn't like it. Some people didn't like it. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I thought you didn't like it. You and Larry thought it was crazy that
I
he
don't
said
like
YNs.
I don't like
Yeah, okay. Larry doesn't like it.
I don't
KB said he didn't
yeah.
see nothing wrong with it.
I didn't say. I don't think.
I thought you had put that in the chat.
I don't think
Well,
so.
Oh, okay. But KP, you was where?
I was at an establishment, Pikes and Paints, and the mayor had reserved a section. Some of his people that work with him or affiliate with him reserved a section, and so he came in, and he just came in just to smoke cigars and talk with the fellas. Not anything serious, not anything. And then it turned into an impromptu where he kind of gave a campaign speech, and he didn't give a campaign speech. He gave an informed speech. He was informing us like, hey, you guys are the ones we need down there in City Hall to help us fight. You guys are the ones that are socially and politically involved and socially aware of things. And basically this is my first time ever seeing him. And so me seeing him and his demeanor and the way he carried himself, he is what we want. He is, I don't know how you guys feel because I'm not from here, but I just wish my voter ID, I just got my ID so that I can vote in this next election for him. Renee don't like him. I can see it already on her face.
What?
Now, I'm going to tell the community why you didn't vote for the man, but I'm going to let you make it.
You know what they say? Snitch me. You know what they say
Yes.
about snitches?
Yes. I mean, when you talk about throwing your vote away, down right there. But anyway, so what I will say, Larry, Leon, Renee, I don't know if you guys had any encounters with this man, but who we are and how we talk to each other and how we be in the chat, this guy would fit right in with us. He would fit right in. Now, he talks more like I do. So he's in an establishment, non-melanated establishment, and there's a bunch of melanated brothers in there and sisters. And he didn't care who was in there. He said what he said. Right. He talked in plain English. And he talked in the vernacular in which we can all understand it. He didn't come in there highbrow. He didn't come in there. He was talking to us. He was meeting us where we were. Mm-hmm. And he was just keeping it real. He was talking in so much code that he was saying it out loud. Right. You know, and he was like, hey, listen, I'm down there fighting them by myself. I need y'all to come down there and help me fight these people. It's the same, same six. There's the reason. This is how he's talking, and because, he's still a political figure. And then, again, he earned my vote that night.
Did he?
Yeah. It's like I sat and talked with him. We like I told y'all before that me and him was in the same restaurant, and I'm like, KP, it's to use the term YN. A P-Nate, Renee, I don't know if you was at church that day. He preached a sermon called "It's in Your Nature."
I probably streamed it, but go ahead.
Look. It's something just in our nature. Just because we
might
just because we might run for office or we be here and y'all in corporate. I know you got a code switch and you're in corporate, but some things are just in your nature.
Leon, I feel what Larry's saying, but I damn sure feel what you're saying because I'm in my corporate position, but that is fake. That's not right. No.
I know that is fake. I'm talking about the other side of you that's in your nature.
It's in my nature. That's why I'm receiving what you're saying. It's like
Okay.
it's in my nature, right? It's just in my nature. What I present when I step into the halls of wherever I work, they don't know who I am. It's all fake. It ain't real. It ain't real.
We call that code switching.
It is code switching, but it's not. It's not. You know, I remember a while ago, some of my non-melanated folks like, Pierre, why don't you just why you can't be more of yourself? I'm like, for what? So y'all can fire me?
Yeah, give him a reason.
Sometimes people say, "Be yourself, tell the truth, or want the real."
No.
People, a lot of times, people don't want that.
They don't want that. You know what my truth would be? I don't know if y'all remember Scandal. Olivia Pope's dad is the guy that plays her dad. Man, he has these monologues where he go on these riffs, and that's what I would do that. And I know we don't have it up, but he'd be like, "You want me to say something? You want me to say something? Okay, you people, you scour this earth." You try to conquer everything. You know, he was like, okay, you want me to talk? All right. So I would end up, that's why I don't. I just like, now let's keep looking at the projector and the screens.
Yeah. No,
Larry, go ahead, Larry.
My only take, and I don't know the guy person, I know the man person. My only take is just the context of using that statement. Because we've talked about this before, like how it's becoming too normalized to use YNs. We know what YNs mean, but now it's becoming a point where everybody is using it. And it's a way it's indirect racism, so to speak.
I can see that.
And for me, what Mayor had just said, his last point about he doesn't want to make the youth feel like they're undervalued, that was my stance. That's where I came from. Because if I was having a conversation with somebody, I'm a political figure, and they use the term, "Oh, what we gonna do about these YNs?" My first comment is, well, let's not call them YNs, first of all, because we got to start changing the mindset of how they act. Because like, if we call them YNs, they're gonna act like YNs, you know.
But they already acting like.
True.
But I think young people know the difference, right? Because that's why we have social media. Right, that's what.
Yeah, but that is a specific group of people.
I'm not justifying the name by any means, but I will say that there is a clear difference, and social media has created this division, right? And it's our people. They created this division. You know, I'm going to tell you now. I don't use the term, but someone, little birdie, told me it was YNs fighting the police at Frankie's last weekend.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It was regular people fighting at you. You get what I mean? So it's like,
well, no, you can't assert. Well, you can't say regular people and YN.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like the difference. There's regular people, then there's. I mean, social media.
Okay, so let's stay with that. Let's stay in that context. Okay, so I know why Larry.
I get what you're saying. Yes.
Right. I know why Larry has a problem with it, and I see my cousin is chimed in, and he said it still ain't. It still isn't right to address our youth with that.
Totally
okay, let me do this. I get that, but let me play devil's advocate with you guys. So where we are in life right now, there is a difference between blacks, which are Black American, African American.
I know where you're going.
What's the other ones? The N-words.
It's the Civil War inside the Black community.
You don't mess with those N-words, right?
Yeah.
Because we like, we only deal with Black people, right? We don't deal with them ninjas, right? The youth, that's how they're separated, because we all know what a YN means. And are they out there YNing? Yes, right? And there's some that are not.
Yeah.
The same reason
it's a separation.
Y'all have these ignorant ninjas, which we don't affiliate with. When white America is telling us, well, they're doing it, I was like, I don't care, arrest them. I don't care, arrest them. If they doing ninja stuff, get them. I know we're not doing it because we Black.
Yo, I'm with it.
I'm just saying. So the YN is the differentiation.
True.
If I'm saying that word correctly, Renee, because I know you in school. And it's between our good youth and our
the bad
youth. The challenged ones.
Yeah.
And we really don't know how he said it in response.
That's why I kept asking what was the context. You know,
I don't know
said it.
I just know he responded with the same
He responded in the way that he made people where they are. It don't matter the context. He didn't. We all know that he just didn't arbitrarily drag it out of his mouth. Someone introduced it and he used it as the subject matter.
Yeah, and that's where I didn't understand. I thought he was giving a town hall. Remember, I said he was at a town hall and he stood up and he was taking a message. I didn't know any of this. I didn't know it was a cigar place and it was just a casual conversation that turned into him having these conversations uplifting.
No.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen where he was when I experienced him. It happened a couple of days before he showed up.
Rookies.
At Rookies. He did this at Rookies.
Oh, okay.
You know, this was at Rookies, but when he came over well, I'm sorry, Renee. What?
It was at Rookies?
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't
do that. That's your spot.
Don't make that face.
I like Rookies. I'm just saying, I thought he was like downtown at the courthouse.
No. See, there we go. See, this is where we wanted to go with this. When our politicians are buttoned up tight and they Barack Obama, you're like, he's not black enough. But then we get a guy who speaks plain language just like us, who pile around with the young YNs, the ninjas, and the black people. We got smoke for that man.
I'm saying I don't mind it. Bro. I'm just saying I thought he was like down at City Hall and it was the whole town hall.
I know this man is a man of the people.
Yeah, and that's great. I didn't understand because again the stories is like, oh, he made a speech and I thought he was in front of everybody, the NC Supreme Court justice and everybody else, and I'm just like, oh, he said that in front of
that would be out of context, and I would have a problem with that because there is a such thing that, like I said, you guys know I listen to Africana, Dr. Greg Carr, and one of the pillars is a structure. One of the pillars is social, and I'm drawing a blank here, guys. I just made 51, so governance and the social structure, right? Yeah. So the social structure, that's who black people are to others, right? That's how white America sees them. In the other is in the governance structure is who we are to each other, and that will be the cookout, right? So if we're in a governance structure, which is where the mayor was, right? Since we know the pillars, right? The pillars are governance structure and social structure. Social structure is who we are to white America, or how we are perceived by them, or where we're in their presence, right? So if we're having this conversation and we're not at the cookout, we're at the social structure. So if he just starts talking like that, I'm going to have a problem with that. Because like, hey, man, that's a governance conversation. That's when we are amongst ourselves. That's a governance conversation, right? Because we can differ between the YNs and the regular youth that are doing good. We can differ. They can. So in the governance structure, we'd have. So I would say that if he was having this in a social structure, then that's a problem. But it wasn't. This was in the governance structure. This was Rookies, and this was at the cigar lounge where we hang out. So this was I'm just saying.
I didn't know. I didn't, I heard bits and pieces of the story.
For somebody who's always telling me to do my research, Renee.
Actually, I've been out.
We know you've been out. You've been in school. You've been studying. I just had, I had to take a shot at you.
Renee, don't be salty like that.
Don't do that.
No,
so what are your thoughts on the mayor, Renee? Period. Just
I like to know.
Me?
And why you didn't vote for him? Lastly,
I told you why I didn't vote for him. You know that. Why are you being messy?
Don't be messy, Kate. Don't be messy, Pierre.
All right. Well, tell us what issue you have with the mayor. What are your thoughts? Is it his policies?
It's hard for me to understand him being a business owner, him running for mayor, his business being downtown.
You think that's a conflict of interest?
Hold on, let her finish. Go ahead.
In Brightleaf, which is a very, expensive area, right? And I would say maybe maybe 3 other 4 businesses, but all of the other Black-owned businesses that were there during the time that he had his are gone. but I don't see him fighting for those, initiatives, right? I don't see any abatements, and maybe he's doing them behind the scenes. Maybe that's not a part of his. I don't hear about any abatements that are happening. I don't hear
Wait. What? Hey, I keep telling you now, 10th grade. What did you say? Abatements?
It's almost like getting rid of a special. But go ahead.
What you say? No, tell me that word. What you say it is?
Abatement.
Abatement. What that mean?
You're right. It's like a special, right? But it incentivizes small business owners, especially, startups or Black businesses, if we want to talk about the Durham Black Chamber of Commerce. But I don't see that. But also, I do feel like there was one of those things. Is like, well, if I'm gonna have a restaurant in this area, because he was on 15501, right, in that promenade by TJ Maxx, Bojangles, and all of that. Then all of a sudden, you're downtown Durham, and you're running for mayor, and it's almost like I need to find a way to protect my asset and forget everybody else.
He's a business owner. What do you mean?
I just feel like it's a conflict of interest.
Okay, so hold on, KB. To what you said now, when I sat and talked to him, he told me something he was doing, and that he had to do it, raise the money on his own because some people downtown, I don't know, was blocking it. And a couple of weeks ago, he had already raised the money, but he dispersed the money out to a couple of Black groups who's doing things for youth and had their own startups like that. I think it was like 30,000. I'm
talking about Black businesses downtown Durham, Leon.
But what you said startups too? I mean, what? I mean, does it have to be business? Can it be just Black people and Black?
I was looking for Black Wall Street to be put back.
Well, he talked about Black Wall Street, and he is in the process of trying to begin to work that Black Wall Street. Okay. Listen, you can tear down something in the day that takes 20 years to build.
That is very true, but there's like there's open businesses over there.
No, so what I will say is this: in his communication,
put his restaurant over there.
In his communication to us, he talked about these businesses and how hard it is for him to maintain his businesses. He talked about that he has 4 of them, and he's probably going to close 2 of them down because he says that it's getting to be a little bit much. And that's why he just said that he had to take some time away with his wife because they went to Europe or somewhere. Because when he was leaving us, he was leaving. And it was because of what they're dealing with the businesses. And he has restaurants. And if you've been in the restaurant business, those are hard businesses. And he's trying to be a mayor. And he said he has 8 or 9 meetings a day. But he talked about the business initiatives and bringing businesses downtown and making sure that Black people are aware of what buildings and what businesses and what projects are coming available so that they can either bid on them or bring a certain business that may be able to get a certain grant to give for some startup. He also talked about how he had to go around things because so many things got blocked. And if you look at Durham Next, he formed that. That's a subsidiary of his office. And he siphoned some money off of that Durham, I think some of the funding that was already within his purview. And he formed this other thing called Durham Next. And he said he was able to get that because when he got in there, he was talking about doing the same thing Trump and them did. They were getting blocked at this level. They were getting blocked at this level. So what he did, he started having people run for these seats and winning these things or getting appointed. So now they're able to move these things forward in terms of business and commerce. Because he talked about our convention center. He said our convention center is a joke. He said that because there are a lot of he talked about that. But what I'm saying is he was laying these things out that you were talking about, Renee. He was laying them out. And I've only heard it say it one time because I was there, but I'm able to tell you just a little bit that he was addressing those things, and he was talking about the roadblocks.
So Renee, right here, you don't think this is good?
His business in Black Wall Street,
huh?
Why isn't his business in Black Wall Street?
Renee, I don't know what is your beef with this man, but
I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and you'll understand.
Right. Okay.
And I want to understand because I'm not
have to do with a Black woman.
Put it in the chat. But look at this right. He said Durham Mail announced this was June 3rd, 2025, Durham mayor announcing $300,000 for 15 nonprofits to tackle youth violence. You don't, Renee, you don't think that's good?
And he didn't say YN, he said youth.
Right. He said youth. You know, and this is something I think he did
So
it.
this was a new program. So this came out in 2024.
Yeah, he talked about
this. This was in June. The article was June 3rd, 2025. But I think this has passed since he gave away some money a couple months ago, about a month or something ago. But I'm just trying to show you what the man is doing, Renee.
He said that they're going to rebuild that convention center. We got the worst convention center when it comes to because he talked about the culture of this being Black Wall Street and the percentage of the population here. And he talked about Greensboro and Raleigh got a better convention center than we do. And now that he has that Durham next, they're going to be able to because there was money allocated for that, but certain the way the committee vote, they were blocking it. And so he formed another way to get around that to keep these same people from blocking these things. Even the bike trace or that supposed to be along the railway or something. He talked about money for that and bringing and making sure that project is completed.
I saw him do a live video, and he was down there trying to clean up the area with some other people. You know, so he's doing some things in the community, Renee. I don't. What is the gripe as far as me? No, I'm just trying to figure out what's the gripe about him being a businessman owning restaurants downtown.
The same gripes y'all got about Trump selling watches.
I don't.
I ain't saying nothing about no.
I just call him stupid for buying it, right? That's it. He can sell them. I want him to sell. Please keep selling shit, Trump. Please come up with some other stuff. Come up with some false teeth, and come up with all kind of stuff.
Wait a minute, Renee. Did you put it in the chat?
Oh, I'm not in this chat.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about our chat because we waiting on to see what are your issues is with the mayor. Of
I
Durham.
think y'all just need to do a little bit more digging and just there was some controversy against a black
at some point, Renee. At some point, Renee. Here's the deal. At some point, we're never going to get the perfect candidate. We're never going to
just like y'all say about the voting in the Democrats and Republicans. Everything ain't gonna be perfect.
You're not. Listen, these are we as they say, no permanent friends, no only permanent interests. The interest right now, whatever your interest is, Renee, is into moving businesses forward so that Black Wall Street can come back, right? Well, if that was Graham Wellington III, that is mayor, you ain't getting that shit done, right? You ain't gonna be able to petition him. You're not gonna be able to push him. At least Mr. Williams, you can petition him, and that's how you vote because we don't like him. We just know that we can push him to get things done. But if Graham Wellington III or Trump Jr. is in those positions, you will not be able to petition.
I think it's the black woman running against him.
What? Mayor Bell's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe so. I get it, but you have to. He's not our friend. I am just simply saying that personally, he's a good guy.
I'm just saying, look at everybody's vote. Don't just get sold in because he speaks your language at a cigar bar.
Hey, but listen.
Your language.
He's not speaking my language.
AKP, I think it's something personal with Renee. She might know somebody that.
Man, listen.
Something. I think it's personal. That's the thing. It's personal with her. Hey, everything can't be personal, Renee. Everything can't be personal.
Right. You got to set.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that.
Well, Renee, as a co-host, we've noticed that you've tuned us out, which that means ding, 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 probably time to move to the next one. But,
let's go.
YNs out of context, don't agree. If it's in context and it's at the barbecue and it's at the cookout, it's perfectly acceptable.
We'll get
he was at the cookout and somebody snitched on him. Somebody didn't.
Well, it's one of my heroes said, and his name is Nat Turner. We need to kill those Negroes first.
Yeah.
Stop it, KP.
I'm just saying.
Let's move on.
You got to be when you're in them type of positions.
Renee, just put the stuff in our personal chat. We're gonna talk about it offline. Let's move on to the next thing.
She is not engaged.
Larry, you mentioned something earlier about reparations. So we're gonna go right here.
Reparations.
Reparations.
Oh
Hold on,
yeah. I mean, we can't
yeah.
we can't be getting reparations from police brutality. We can't be doing that.
Yeah, but just
Can't do that.
here you go. So the newly released files of Martin Luther King. So newly released FBI records show that the year Martin Luther King Jr. died, he was planning a nationwide boycott to demand $20 billion a year for 10 years as reparations in anti-poverty restorative movement. The boycotts were meant to, I guess it meant a bit two in there, to disrupt every sector of America with the black dollar until needs were met.
Yeah. 20 billion, man, back then, crazy money.
Yeah,
20 billion a year, crazy money. Crazy money. They wasn't gonna let that happen, bro. And I can tell you what my theory is, bro. My theory, and the reason why we'll never get reparations is because it makes black power stable, and they can't have that. Simple, it's just simple as that. The black community cannot be stable. Can't be. And you give us that money so we can get stable, we're gonna tear it down every time.
What was the importance of them releasing his files?
Well, there's theories to that too. You know, people say they're releasing these files as a distraction from the Epstein's files.
I agree.
Who knows? Could be true, could not be true. But hey, releasing these files now gave us a little more insight on what was happening back then and the plan for what Dr. Martin Luther King wanted us to go to, because a lot of people looked at him as, hey, you know, maybe segregation wasn't for us, and him pushing for it so hard backfired, you know, kind of made things worse. But he had a plan for that the majority of us didn't know about, came out in these files. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, there was more to it than just integration. There was we're gonna disrupt their systems so we can establish our own type of thing. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I think just like Larry said, they released this as a distraction. They released it as a distraction, even against the will or against the approval of the King family. He still released it. Obviously, he was going to release it because he really don't care about the blacks. He's got a lot of hot water, and we've had 4 years of Trump, and now 4 years and 6 months. We know he tips his hand at everything he does. When there's heat, he always do distraction, the magician, the sleight of hand. You know, in his first administration, when things would happen, he was like, "Oh, infrastructure. We're going to do infrastructure. We're going to do infrastructure bill, right?" And then it never happened. It was Biden who actually did the infrastructure. Whenever his back is pushed up against the wall, he always started talking incoherent and doing incoherent things. And so y'all listened to him, and when he talks about this stuff or talk about anything, it's incoherent at best, and it's just bold-faced lie. You know, he's saying that Obama and all of them did the Epstein files and Comer and all them when it was 2019. It was when he was in office, when Jeffrey Epstein was actually arrested and then unalived himself 2 months later after he was arrested, you know what I mean? And so
he didn't do that.
And now his attorney.
And now his attorney. And you got to understand too. You got to understand that it was under Trump when it happened, but he blamed Obama for it. He said Obama with the Jeffrey Epstein. It was like, no, it was you. You know, and it's no different than him talking about Jerome Powell, like he's a horrible, whoever appointed him, it was Biden. No, it was your ass in 2017. He talked about how
They said the documents were initially intended to remain under seal until 2027. So it was going to come out anyway.
Well, that was the so what they released was the original was the 200,000 page. Ain't nobody's going to read that because there's nothing new under the sun that we didn't already know. The only thing that we learned is what Larry talked about. His push for reparations, and that he was going to because he had the power, and J. Edgar Hoover knew it, and knew that if he would have got this plan to the light of day, he would have had people, because he's already had the sanitation worker thing. He had the bus boycott. He had a lot of success in showing that he can get unit. And then he had that on the mall there, all the people that for his I Have a Dream speech.
Yep.
But there's nothing new under the sun that came out with this. It's just to throw us off. The only thing it did was made us really go hard for King now, because we was like, man, this man was really about to push for us.
Yeah. And
to right the wrongs through programs and through other avenues in which they were going to use this money for.
They had one of his nieces. She was along with Trump's. Well, she's
been Elvita, whatever her name is. She's been with
Veda.
We're not going to give her. We're not going to give her.
They said she was grateful to the president.
That's what she said. Yeah, listen, man, that Stockholm syndrome. I don't know what it is with some of these black folks. They love their Lord and Master. They love them. Oh, they love them.
We were just talking about the police chief, man. Same thing.
They love their Lord and Master.
What was the other sheriff that was endorsing Trump his first term?
Sheriff. I used to call my brother.
He used to have a cowboy hat on. Yeah,
cowboy hat. Joe Clark. Clark.
Something Clark. Yeah,
Clark.
I remember his first name, but yeah. I mean, as far as just in general with these files being released, like KP says, nothing new that we kind of didn't know, but it did give us a little more of what the future plan was, because we always talk about we lack follow-up in the black community.
Yeah,
like we'll boycott all day, but what's the plan after the boycott? What are we doing? Because these companies, they're just gonna wait us out, and then we'll just go right back to their establishments. We just go right back to spending our money with them. So something like this, hey, let's disrupt their whole system and for them to pay us our money, type of thing. So I get it, and that's something that we needed to have. That's something that the black community needed to see, because back then. And we talk about this, the difference between black excellence and black power. Back then, when it felt like black power, there was a sense of community. Everybody was on the same page. Everybody knew there was a single goal. Hey, this is what we need for us to progress as a community. So we all got to be on board for it. That's why the bus boycotts work. I think, the execution of it could have been different, as far as let's not boycott these routes. Let's not do bus boycotts until they give us our respect. They should have just stopped riding buses altogether and started their own. And it should have been that way.
That's where they went wrong. It went over a year, and instead of forming their own bus line, and supporting that bus line, which would completely starve that one out, that's where it didn't go right. But we'll get better.
You think so?
I hope so. I'm optimistic.
Like we brought up the book numerous of times. It's been out for a while, Dr. Claude and some Powernomics, and it seemed like it don't seem like it's going anywhere. It seemed like
we're distracted.
Blacks over here. We split down the middle, and don't nobody know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, we can't get on a board. We can't get on a board because because we're not a monolith. We're not monolithic in our thought and our movement. It makes us hard to be on one accord as others. I say that, but then the contradictory is we vote at a higher rate than any other race. True. Being black women, 92% black men, 80%. We say that we're not on the same page, but actually we are in some regard. But then I think with voting or supporting a political party or whatever our ideology is at the time. Yeah. But I think when it comes to us, we have a problem with supporting each other and being in support.
Now hold on.
What that is, though.
I'm with you on that. Well, let me challenge you a little bit. I think we do support each other, but there is that support is conditional.
Yes.
What I mean by that is like, I'm gonna support you up until it costs me something, because I ain't willing to make that sacrifice. That's where a huge difference comes in. Like we'll support a lot of people, but if it causes us to put something on the line, that's where we draw back. But if you look back to to our ancestors who were like, hey, we're not gonna ride these buses. Like they didn't care about the sacrifice. They knew the goal was worth the risk. You know, we don't have that nowadays.
I think back then they didn't have too much to lose. That
right, but then also
that made it easier.
But also,
hold on, no, they did have a lot to lose because losing their life was more common back then with lynching. Like all that was way more common back then. But the thing that saved them was the unity in community. That's what would save them, because it wasn't just one person making a sacrifice for the neighborhood.
The whole community.
Everybody was.
Because the people that had cars, they started doing carpooling.
Right. Exactly. But nowadays you can have something going on, and like I said, we'll support each other up until a point where it's like, hey man, I can't come out here tomorrow. I gotta work, because you don't want to miss the day of work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go protest. You don't want to go support because I got it. You got to put food on the table. You got bills to pay. So it comes to a point where it's like, is the risk for us to move to progress together greater than your individual sacrifices?
Well, that's kind of what I meant by it. They didn't have. Now they were broker back then. They didn't have. How much did they really have to lose back then? I mean, besides life. I'm not talking about life. You know, I already know about life. What really did?
Well, I don't even think.
Well, no. So the reason why they were more successful than we would be if we did that, is because they were self-sufficient.
Yeah. I
they went to the store and they only got what they needed, being flour, oil, or whatever. The rest of the stuff was self-sufficient because most had gardens, most grew their own food, most had chickens, most had hogs, most had goats, most had cows. Most of them, they were kind of off the grid, but living in the grid. And so they, because of racist store owners and because of being in public, having to move off the side of the sidewalk as a white woman is on and you had to move, or somebody can get you in town, and that's when they decide to do a picnic, which is pick-a-nick, right? And so they stayed out the way. And so in order to stay out the way, you have to be at home being self-sufficient. So they were more self-sufficient, right? They wasn't at home. They wasn't taking a little bit of money they made and going to the stores, going to the Woolworths and buying, you know what I mean? And so they were able to save their money. They didn't put it in banks. They buried it in the trees. So I wouldn't say Leon, you're right. They were poor in terms of poor, but they were richer than what we are, because
that's my whole point. We got all this stuff. That's what I'm saying. Now we got all this stuff. Everybody's scared to lose. Renee, trying to lose that car. You ain't trying to lose that truck.
And she not trying to lose she ain't trying to get rid of her Amazon.
Right. Even though they were self-sufficient, don't mean they had a lot of things.
But they didn't have a lot of things, but they were self-sufficient. That's why they were able to be very impactful.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Whereas right now, our generation, we panic if the toilet paper gets low.
That's what I'm saying,
bro.
Right?
Bro.
You think?
Hey, don't let the internet go out.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
But I look at stuff like that.
And we're in a different world. But is there sacrifices to be made? Yes. Can some people afford to make them? Yes. Can others?
I agree.
Not? Let's be honest. Hourly, entry level employees cannot make the sacrifice that our ancestors were able to make. Back then, they don't have a lot of vacation. You know this, Larry. Entry level employees, they don't have a lot of vacation. What vacation they do have, they have to save it because they have kids. So, you have sick days, summer. They don't really have it, and they can't afford to miss it. That's the thing, to be able to live.
True.
Now, I guess I can, miss work and go downtown and protest and everything. And I think it's up to, people in certain positions and levels who can make that sacrifice to be able to do so. And then, leave it optional for the ones who are taking a risk by, losing a day of pay to be able to go ahead and protest and stick up for the people. But to say that, we can't be on one accord, I think it's hard because the sacrifice now is greater than it was back then. Back then they were able to talk to their landlord, or they own the property and the land and they built the house or whatever. And they were able to have that conversation because maybe the landlord, it was a black landlord and he was down there too. where we live now, I can't go to Rocket, Mortgage and say, hey, I was protesting downtown Durham. I ain't gonna be able to make my mortgage payment.
Are you agree? Are you agreeing with me?
No, Leon Trump.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is,
I
think we have to. I think again we have to meet people where they're at and give grace. But to the ones who are trying to make a difference, their volunteerism or their efforts to protest may look different for they may do things that look different than the norm than protesting downtown. Maybe they're protesting Target, right? And that's their way of being able to get back to say, hey, I'm not going to shop at Target. I'm going to shop somewhere else. But because they don't have a way to do what they probably want to do, they're doing it in other areas. So
I believe you agree with me. I believe we along the same lines. You just tell me different. There you go. I hear it in you. I hear it in you.
No.
Oh
I just think that we've evolved in a world where we can kind of be selective in what we choose to sacrifice. But
that could be dangerous sometimes too.
Yeah, but I always say Black people, we are our biggest critics.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But also I'm with people, Leon, that that Target ain't gonna last long. They, people, they're gonna be back in there shopping. They ain't gonna lose no money. Target consistently.
They hurting
they
right now.
They haven't been right since January.
Well, it don't really bother me.
December 2024. Anyway.
I might go in there twice a year if I do.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, but
you was making them all you the one making all the money. You needed a break. You was in there.
Now I don't even be like, oh, I need to go to Target. Like I forget it's there. Now I ain't been there in so long.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You was giving them all your money.
I was, but again, I may have a meeting and can't go downtown to a protest, but I know in other areas, i.e. Target and all the other places I choose to not frequent. That's my way of giving.
But I still think just in relation to this Target protest, this Target boycott and the Dr. King files, like the Target boycott, what was the follow-up for that? For DEI to be reinstated to get
No, not at all. But for them to realize that our money and our dollars count. Remember, I put in the group chat about the marketing attorney, right? Where she was saying that when when Target reached out to her for her small business that she had, they wanted 50% of her sales, right?
They were charging her.
They wanted to charge her to market, to advertise.
Thanks.
And they gave her 3 different tiers. How is that helping a small business when they're taking from the top?
Right.
They're not only taking from the merchandise, but they want you to pay them to put you on their website.
Mm-hmm.
And not like $500, $1,500. They wanted, what was the tiers? $15,000, $50,000, $75,000.
75,000. Yeah. That's crazy.
How is that helping a small business?
So let me look at it. Let me hit y'all with a perspective of this way then, because all right.
And when you only having it for once a month out of the year, it goes on after February 28th.
True. So look at it from this perspective then, as far as Dr. King's idea for reparations, $20 billion a year, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was I guess, trying to broker a deal or a ceasefire of sorts between the Black community and the government, basically. Like the United States government, hey, this is what y'all owe us. We're going to disrupt systems, blah, blah, blah. What I look at now, how the Black community is affecting Target is what we should have been doing to the government. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And hell, this could be a trial run, to be honest. But would Black leaders see that and take it to that step? They probably won't, though. And I think that's one thing. What was Mr. Johnson in the comments talking about? He said something about why we can't unite. I can't remember the comment he said earlier.
Hold on, let me find it.
He says, so the question, why we can't unite as a whole, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is because we have to have a common goal that everybody's on board with. Like, this is the purpose of what we're going to do. We have to unite as this so we can get X, Y, Z. And I get it. What Dr. King was talking about. Hey, Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics. We need to do X, Y, and Z so we can get ABC type of thing.
Yeah.
And right now, we don't even have that type of leadership that will pull us together to do that, because our leadership gets knocked down.
Also, not only, to me, to figure out the end goal, I think it's also important to pre-plan, right? Because if you're sacrificing and giving up something, you need to plan in advance. So I feel like it can't be a sporadic. We all unite and we boycott and we do all these things.
Right.
We need to plan. So you should have, certain amount of savings or cash dollars in your backyard, or, cash on hand. I think it needs to be pre-planned in advance. And then also, discuss the end goal of what you want to achieve and what you're willing to sacrifice in the midst of that. Right. So I think it needs to plan, because again, our world has evolved from back then. So now it takes a little bit more planning.
Strategy got to be different.
The strategy has to be totally different.
Even right now, in what I'm talking about as far as the community is versus the government, like it's Trump's administration that is putting pressure on the corporations to terminate their DEI programs. So again, that's an indirect attack from the government towards the community. Even though we don't even care about the DEI stuff, we didn't get the benefits out of that as other groups did. But still, like, the connotation or the thought is that DEI equals black, which is not. But of course, the way the optics of it seems. So, hell, I think looking through those MLK files gives us some insight of, okay, this is what the plan was and what it should have been. We can't use that same plan, but we need to think of something similar.
Yeah, you can use it as a skeleton, right? To build on what it would look like in today's world, right? So I think that's important. It's a lot of pages. I want someone to provide me cliff notes.
They also said that it'd be more. They said more to come out. They say they had some videos. He was under surveillance. Also,
you got to wait for the next Trump scandal for him to release them files, probably.
I mean, at this point, MLK was in, the Epstein. He was at Epstein's house too. That's gonna be next.
Right at this point.
Come on now.
But
Mr. Zulu was over there too.
Mr. Johnson put too much pride to lose materialistic things. That is true, but it depends on what you deem, materials can be, that could be subjective. It might be too much pride to want to give up your apartment because you may not have no place to stay. It may be too much pride to give up your car because that's your means of, providing for your family. Some people, that could be materialistic to somebody else, but, I get it. I get it. But again, because we've evolved as a world, a lot of these things that, could I stand to lose some clothes and some shoes? Yeah. But, I can donate them to other people, and that keeps us, keeps it still in the community. But I still value what I have because I worked hard to pay for it.
See, you agree with me. That's what I'm talking about. I knew you agree with you. No, you just did. That's what I said. I said they didn't have nothing to lose back then. Now we got something. People have a lot more that they don't want to lose right now. You agree with me? I know you agree with me.
Right. And the thing that they don't want to lose is what Mr. Johnson's saying, is the pride to lose those materialistic things.
Yeah, she just said it too. She said
it. I feel like materialistic thing. It's different for everyone. It's different for everyone.
It is.
Yeah, but it's still a materialistic thing, whether it's your car or your watch collection.
Yes, but I also feel like
I catch a little joke.
Protest and community can look different. We have the ability to make it look different now in other ways, right?
Right.
So I just feel like just because we're not all downtown and doing all the things together, for people to see it, doesn't mean that it's not happening across the world. And I think Target is a prime example of that.
Yeah. I think Target is a litmus test, man. It can show us what we couldn't do when we get serious.
What we can do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our boycott, it will be different than what King did with the sanitation workers and what he did with the bus boycott.
Well, the sanitation workers in Maryland, they
won. I mean, they got what they wanted because that one and bless her little heart, our little black mayor over there, man. She pretty much.
But again, what did I say? Protesting looks different for everybody, right? They weren't. I mean, were they on the street picketing? Yes, but also they took it a step further. We're not picking up your trash. we not this. Y'all gonna have to feel it, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened. They
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
And they won. So that's why I said it, you know, we don't always have to come together. It's just in different ways. You hit people's pockets in different ways, and they'll see it. Yep, strategy, cause, and purpose. They, you know, that PA or wherever it was, they have to feel it. The trash was heavy on the streets. You hear me?
It was running down the street too.
Heavy.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Before we go to the next, make sure you go to impel4merch.com. That's impel4merch.com. All things Impel4 merch. All things Impel4 merch. Impel4merch.com. Now, KP, Mr. Pierre, and Renee likes to call me Leon Trump. But Larry put a question in the chat talking about Democrats. And asked the question about Democrats fighting us amongst one another. So, of course, you know, I had to go pull up something. I had to go find something. Leon Trump had to go find something. So I'm going.
Don't call yourself that, man.
Nah, man, you don't care about
you like it now.
You know, call yourself a YN.
You don't care about that. Here you go, right here. Let me find this.
LT.
Yeah.
Can y'all see this right here?
We got you.
Factions of the Democratic Party try to regroup and forge a path forward. Longtime
Democrats do not want to see this lizard face.
Party shambles in a new op-ed. It used colorful but not hopeful descriptors like leaderless, confused, a cracked out car, and divided to describe the state of the party. He cited New York Democratic mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, and his campaign as a fracture point for Democrats.
We have divisions and fissures in the party. Some of them are generational, some of them are ideological, maybe some of them even regional.
Carville argued that the party would be better served putting aside divisions until after the 2026 midterms and unite behind using the big, beautiful bill as a kitchen table issue platform to message against.
Going into the 2026 off-year elections, every Democrat, no matter who you are, you're opposed to this horrible bill.
Whether Democrats unite to do that is a different story. Mamdani still hasn't been endorsed by top congressional Democrats from his own city.
We had a constructive and a candid and a community-centered meeting that lasted for over an hour on Friday, and we agreed at that meeting to reconvene upon his return back into the country.
And there's more party infighting. Hunter Biden ripped into Democrats who abandoned his father's re-election campaign.
James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 years.
Former Obama Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel, who is considering a 2028 presidential run, says his party lost its way by becoming too politically correct.
Our party had everybody, including ourselves, walking on eggshells. Like, it was so PC, you couldn't even, God forbid, you had a thought privately to yourself and you were scared and jumped. And literally you had this kind of flinch all the time. And that's ridiculous.
Mamdani's political brand could be spreading to other places. A Democratic socialist in Minneapolis recently got the state party's endorsement for the city's mayoral race. The incumbent Democrat is vowing to appeal. Reporting in Washington.
So that's what I be saying. Y'all be thinking I'm talking crazy about.
So that's
hold on, stop cutting me off. Hold on. Look, that's what I be saying about y'all. When I be saying y'all be saying Trump doing this, he doing what he want to do, this and that. I'm like, Democrats could do the same thing. Yeah, and KP, you have said the Democrats been soft. I don't know if you may have.
I don't identify I don't identify as a Democrat.
Oh, that okay. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I almost, I just changed my my voting so that I can vote here. And they asked me, I was about to register as a Republican, but I went back as an independent. Man, I don't mess with those Democrats like that, man. They losers, man. They
wait.
I don't. Man, they lose themselves.
I knew Renee was hot when you said that.
No, but listen to this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell y'all this. Let me tell you why we should all go and change our vote to Republican in these swing states.
I mean, wait. Are you being serious?
I'm being dead ass right now. Let me tell you why. Because there is a guy by the name of Greg Palast. He did this deep study, and he does this with these voters. And he has this thing that came out right before the election, Vigilante Inc. And basically, he went into a lot of these swing states, Georgia being one, so Arizona, a lot of these, and what you had was these they were purging the voters roll. And in certain states, you can challenge somebody's voting record. You can not their record. You can challenge the fact if they can vote or not. And you won't know. You won't know that your voting status got challenged until you go to vote or you check to see if your vote counted. Yeah. Because all one person has to say is, I don't think that person's a U.S. citizen. Boom, they don't count your vote until the investigation is done. Yeah. And what non-black people have done, all these Republicans have done, they went into these counties that had a lot of black Democrats in it, and they challenged a lot of their votes. One man did almost 3,500 votes, right? And it's predominantly black people. They find these black names in these black districts with the D on it that says Democrat, and they're purging those votes. And when they're purging those votes, they're suppressing the votes at the same time. So when we say 90 million people didn't vote in this election, they probably did. It probably wasn't counted. The problem is nobody's going back to check to see if their vote was counted. So how do we protect against this? If we were all switch our party affiliation to Republic, then we would mingle into where the Republican Party is, and they can't purge that because they're not looking into the Republican here. They're going into the Democrat.
Chess, not checkers.
I like where you're going with that.
All right, tell me more.
Man, it's about strategy. You know what I mean?
I see where you're going, and I like it.
And we can primary these people who we don't, because now that we're registered Republicans, we can vote in their primaries. So now we can run somebody who's really not a Republican, run them in there, and because we're all over there, we can vote for them, which takes votes. So what you get what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. I like that shit, boy. I like
that's
that.
The strategy.
I like that.
You got to break these people political backs. You got to fight. You can't use law. You gotta subvert the law.
We're gonna talk more about that offline, boy.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that I even said that in the universe.
Yeah. Hey, put a pin in that one. Yeah. I like where you're going with that.
I like to know what Renee think about this.
What?
About KP being a Republican.
Oh man,
I like it. I support it.
The strategy is not.
I support it 100%.
I'm neither one.
I'm gonna change my vote tonight. I'm gonna sign up online tonight.
If nothing else, we know that we won't be targeted.
That did happen with Justice Riggs' race. They had to do a ballot count. Hey, Tatiana girl, I think they had to do it 3 times. That man would not give up.
Wouldn't give up.
He would not give up. And remember, they were telling people to go and check to see if your vote counted because they had got rid of so many. They had purged.
They purged them off the rolls. That's what I'm trying to tell. And it only happens in black Democratic districts or Democrats.
Right.
And we all know who's doing it. The same people who the mayor says down there blocking everything from Durham from getting everything. It's the same people that don't look like you or I, and they're up there blocking. And so they have time when they leave. When they get up and go to Walgreens and get all their stuff and use their points, they go right there to the doggone courthouse and pull up the vote, seeing who they can block.
Yeah, haters.
And so I want
welcome to the haters ball.
Something else. So of course I assume that y'all have heard of Obama saying some things. I forgot where he was at. Yeah. You don't know what I'm put on. Let me pull this up. This is something.
Are we using allegedly, or this has been confirmed?
Oh, it's been confirmed everywhere. I don't, it doesn't matter to me.
The stuff I seen not online, of some of them idiots from back at home telling me some stuff about. I don't know if it's true. They said Obama said that every young man should have a gay mentor.
I wasn't talking about that. He did say that, but I wasn't talking about that.
Did he say that?
He said that on the podcast with his wife and his wife's brother.
He said that, and I want to get your
context.
We have to.
We talk about that.
But I wasn't talking about that KP.
That's what I was like.
Let's go to this right here. This is just something that when it comes to, of course, the topic about Democrats fighting among each other or not doing enough. when y'all calling y'all party soft. Hold on.
About what they should be
Soft
doing.
as puppy milk.
I guess my issue right now,
Let me get the exact quote.
no,
Okay.
it's okay. My issue right now with President Obama and Michelle Obama is they like out here doing Tiger Woods documentaries, and they have this show, which I'm not mad at. He actually was on her podcast talking about how young men don't feel seen in this new space, and I think that that's true. However, if you can go on the podcast to talk about how young men don't feel seen, can you also talk about these SNAP cuts? Can you also talk about the Medicare and Medicaid cuts? And I think for me, if you all were saying that we were about to, or this country was about to elect a fascist, why are you not treating fascism as it's just that critical? So I'm confused about why there is an expectation of Democrats or any elected official to do something different when they're doing exactly what you're doing. Right. So if you're treating all of this as normal times, we're gonna go to Martha's Vineyard and hang out, and we like nothing is different.
Kiki at the funeral.
Yeah, like they don't know what to do either. So we have these high expectations, and this is also why we started to say to the people of our elected officials, like, okay, you got to meet the moment. You got to meet the moment. You got to meet the moment. Everybody, even if they don't say it out loud, is saying how. How do you meet this particular moment? And this moment is changing massively every single day. So how I meet it is going to continue to change. We're not giving them the grace to figure it out on the fly, but we're giving ourselves that grace. And for me, I say, you know what? I'm demanding something of them that I'm not demanding of myself. If it is the last and evil days, as the mothers used to say in church for years and years and years, I really do think it might be the last and evil days now. What am I going to do different? And if I'm not doing anything different, then I'm part of the problem. So
that actually gives me.
Let's talk about it, Renee. What you think about that?
So she's asking something of Obama and Michelle that she's not doing herself.
Okay, that's what she's saying. So I guess it's about Democrats, period, not taking initiative to doing what they're doing, what they should be doing. I guess just a lot of fighting against y'all Democrats.
It's a little bit of both. Because he's like, oh, well, Obama got time for these podcasts, but why aren't you including what's going on inside this government right now?
And first
or
of
not,
all,
or not talking about it.
That's his wife's and his wife's brother's podcast. He doesn't have one. He was
right.
a guest.
Yeah.
And so as a guest, you're asked questions. How come his wife didn't ask questions about that? Or maybe he's tired of talking about it and he wants to be seen as a regular person. Maybe people want a getaway from all of the propaganda and everything that's going on online, and they just need something refreshing. I don't know. One minute you got people want them to talk politics. The next minute they're talking about divorce rumors because they don't see them hugged up or at the movies together. I feel like, what do you want from them? And why is so much power on Obama and Michelle?
I think it's
because y'all put it on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like it's two different things, man.
Like we do, but
it's two different things. Like people feel
her accountability of not doing something she's not doing herself. I don't see her making any documentaries, and I like Angela Rye. I think she's fabulous.
But I guess he's held to a higher standard. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. The community is still looking for answers from Obama, and it's like. That ain't his job, man.
Right, but here we go with this white community thing. Here we go with the dog eat dog stuff. You don't see the white community on Bush like this.
Oh, exactly.
And you don't see the white, and you also don't see the white liberal community that's within the Democratic Party calling on Horn Dog himself, Clinton, to be, to be his. We're the only ones that do that. When we've been doing this, we've been so tribal against each other that just let that man exist and let him live. If he come in and he want to come into the political fold and say something, I'm less of a fan than I was a fan before, but I'm not a full on Obama supporter, but I am a supporter in the social structure. Oh, he can do no wrong. When we ain't at the cookout, shit. Yeah. He's smarter than you. Right, he's smarter than the other ones who he have to run up against, right? And they'd be like, well, what about him? Well, I don't know. Did he say it? Now, when we come into governance and when we're talking, I got my issues with Obama, right? But one thing that I'm not going to do is blast this man in the social hemisphere where everybody of all nations and all colors can see it, because now they can point to like, look, see, even his own black people don't support him. That's not true. We do. We're very critical because we're a critical race.
Right.
And we criticize our own the worst way. And that's why when white America, they can get away with mediocrity because we even allow it. Let me give you a case in point. Showtime at the Apollo. If you black and you go on there, you got to be damn near, you got to hit high E over middle C. You got to hit every note that you can hit.
Yeah.
Before they start clapping, right? And if you didn't want to get booed, then you saw a gospel song, right? That at least appealed to those two, and they wouldn't boo you. But let a white guy come out there and hit 1 ounce of a note that just the regular person, a regular one of us can do. They go all crazy for him, like, oh, and give him let an Asian guy come out there and do one little dance, and they go crazy for
a little bit of soul.
They show him so much love, and it's mediocre at best.
Yeah,
so we are the leopards that eat our own faces, and I get.
But at the same time, it's when you're in that public figure. I mean, you put yourself out there.
True, but we're not. Listen, that's our brother. We supposed to uphold him. We supposed to pull him in the back and have this conversation, not in public. That's
also, I mean, he spoke up, right? He, talked about Harvard, his alma mater, and all these other things, right? Now they want to go after him for treason. Before that, him and his wife was getting a divorce. Now it's treason and he's not doing nothing for anybody. He just wants to be on a podcast and be a normal human being. You know what I mean? If it's not, he wore a brown suit. My goodness.
Yeah.
Going gray. His daughter was smoking cigarettes. He's a bad dad. Like he.
Meanwhile, Hunter sniffing lines of coke.
Hey.
Speaking somewhat truths.
Hey.
I give him that.
Allegedly, man. Allegedly.
Oh, okay. Allegedly.
But I just feel like sometimes it's okay to take a step back and just be a human, be a man, be a husband, a father, and enjoy his time. Maybe him and his wife, maybe Michelle doesn't want to talk politics on her podcast that day.
Probably don't.
Yeah.
Because remember, she didn't want the second term. She didn't ask for that first one.
Michelle does not like politics. So I don't know why Angela Rye is acting like, that's anything different. She knows Michelle out of anybody. She was around her. Everybody knows Michelle doesn't like politics.
No.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
So why would
she just expects
he hates ketchup?
She expects more of Mr. Obama.
Yeah.
Just like we all you expect more of Mayor Williams.
I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go back to that,
I had to.
His respect level for Black women. I expect the same.
Man, he got a black wife.
That's one thing Obama does have, though.
Here we go. Here we go. I don't know what's going on right now.
You got a black wife, don't mean you don't have respect for Black women. His wife is African.
You about to touch on?
I ain't want no part of it.
Yeah, because they got a hotel in they own a hotel in Tanzania somewhere up in there.
You about to go somewhere else, Renee?
No.
Because I'm talking about when you said he has a black wife, and then you said she's African. That conversation about the blacks and Africans, and we ain't this and they ain't that. That's what I was talking about when you said that.
Who said that?
You haven't heard those conversations?
He thought that's where you were insinuating that you were part of
that's what
these
that would sound like to me.
Adolf's people, American descent. There's a separation of African Americans in true and other continental Africans.
Oh, yeah.
But there isn't to me.
Not to me either.
Nah.
It seemed like that's what she was going with.
No.
He can give me an Ethiopian wife any day of the week.
Or being a passport bro, KP. Being a passport bro, KP.
I'm not a passport bro. I am not.
So we've touched on everything. It's one thing I want to touch on is so a lot of in the media has been a lot of people talking about Hulk Hogan. I didn't hear. I don't even remember when he said the N word.
I'd rather we talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Oh yeah. Condolences to the family, but we'll get to that. But he said the N word. Okay, years ago, I guess.
He said more than the N word.
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm asking.
That man is
a man.
He said a lot.
You think people should celebrate his death?
Not celebrate it, but I don't think we should celebrate it. I think that we should do as what he would do if one of us have passed away. Whatever he wished for me, I wish for him and his family.
And his preference. Rest in his preference.
We're not going to spend much time on it.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
It's not a celebration. It ain't nothing like I wish for him what he wished for me.
Yes, he's resting in his preference.
And if
yeah, I read that. You say he died on every. I saw somebody say.
Look at the ancestors. Thank you, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Listen, the ancestors don't miss.
They haven't this year. I'll tell you that. They slipping.
R.I.P. to Malcolm Jamal Warner. How y'all feel about that? Well, I know how y'all feel. We all feel about that. That was a sad situation.
I don't know if it's necessarily that he couldn't swim. I think the tide just swept him. They were.
Yeah.
They say his daughter. I read something that said his daughter was out there too, and she got saved and he drowned.
Yeah, they saved her.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, he got caught up in the rip current over there in Costa Rica. The signs clearly say that it's out there, but Malcolm's a love life. He loves Black community. Yep. And you get to Costa Rica and you go out there and you see that water and those trees and how beautiful God is. You just look at it like God is just romancing us right now, and just like, man, I'm just gonna get in this water with my daughter because he, I know what probably his mindset was, but he probably didn't think that a rip current would, get the best of him, but it gets the best of a lot of people.
It really does.
Man, he was one of the good ones, man. One of the good ones. Man.
Hey, man, listen, I saw a meme where where they had Eddie Winslow, and it was like, man, I know I'm wrong for this, but why could it have not been this one?
Oh, wow.
And they had it with like Sydney Star, trans. I was like, oh my god.
The sad part is for Halloween, we gonna see nothing but Gordon Gartrells.
Somebody told me they had the shirts on sale already.
We gonna see nothing but Gordon Gartrells for Halloween.
You hear what I said, Renee?
That would be the wrong way of celebrating the life of this man.
I know.
Somebody said they got the shirts on sale already with his face on it.
The Gordon Gartrells?
Yes, with his face on it. That's somebody told me today.
That's a one-on-one. You can't make a Gordon Gartrell. Only Denise can.
I don't know
Denise gotta make it.
I don't know what they did.
You can't nobody make that Gordon Gartrell. If it's not made by Denise,
it's not a Gordon Gartrell.
It's not a Gordon Gartrell.
Malcolm was very instrumental. What I didn't know is how I've been listening to certain podcasts and certain radio stations, and they've been playing a lot of his poetry. And his poetry it's dope, man. One of them is dope. I mean, it's like it's over certain beats. And I didn't realize that he played instruments and that he did poetry the way he did it. And the little podcast I've been listening to, they'll cut in to every time they come from a break playing a little bit of some of his music. And I was like, wow, that's kind of dope. Mm-hmm. But Malcolm was one of those guys that he stayed private, he stayed out of the way too. But he was about the Black community,
And he was a really good actor.
A
lot of people don't know he was on The Resident for.
He was on The Resident. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually performed here in, I think it was here in Durham with the son, Renee. Renee. I think he performed one time in Durham with the son.
Oh, really?
The one we had on the podcast.
Yeah.
The son posted something with him and Malcolm. I think it was downtown. What's the place downtown?
Missy Lanes.
I think it was Missy Lanes. That had to be recent because Missy Lanes ain't been open that long. Not unless it was somewhere else.
Primrose.
I forgot what he said. I had to go back and look.
Maybe
at
it. Hyatt. He's down. He's always in Hyatt. Is it Hyatt or Heidi?
Hey, Heritage.
Yeah. Maybe he's around. Maybe it was around there because he,
Yeah.
That's his area. Yeah.
Well, make sure you go to impel4merch.com. That's impel4merch.com. All things Impel 4 merch. The sale is still going on. The winter is coming. Make sure you get your sweatsuit. Some people wear it in summertime. I ain't gonna say who, but y'all know.
Hey, the YNs be wearing hoodies all year.
There you go.
See, I ain't want to say it.
See,
Larry talking about separation, and he using it.
He used it.
Well, to be fair, I gave the context in which he can in the governance structure when it's us.
I think all the young kids are wearing hoodies in the summertime. I don't know how
they do it all the time.
I don't know.
All right. Well, we're gonna go backstage. There you have it for another episode of the Impel 4 podcast. And remember, seize the opportunity to grasp your dreams. Peace.